Yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. So hope you guys are all having an amazing day today. And I wanted to go over how to get a Mythic free-to-play. Now, I made a video on this a few months ago, and then it accidentally re-uploaded. Well, I made one video like a year ago, and then it was privated. I accidentally uploaded two versions of them, so I privated one of them, and one of them went up a year ago. And then that same video was re-uploaded accidentally like 6 months ago, and it was kind of outdated, but I left it up because it got like 3,000 views in a day, and I was like, okay, maybe people want to see it. So I wanted to redo it because at this point we have some new stuff going on, a little bit of a different season structure, and I keep getting the question, how can you get a Mythic free-to-play? Now, disclaimer, okay, I am not saying a free-to-play player who just started the game yesterday is going to be able to get a Mythic free-to-play. I'm not saying that, because more than likely, free-to-play, if you're just starting the game, you're not going to be able to get it. I'm sorry, but you're probably not. Because you're not going to have the resources saved up, you're not going to have the ability to get as many points in PvP, unless you have a high-level back you, which is draining on your team. So really, this is geared towards people who are a little bit more established. I'm not saying level 300s, I'm saying maybe 100. 100 to 150, like 100 to 150, yeah, or around there. Maybe even less. It just really depends on your activity. If you're on an Atlas team, if you're in Sapphire, which really helps, by the way, because those rewards add up fast, and what you have saved for the first two events of next season, because that is crucial. So one of the biggest things that you guys need to do, I don't care whether you are trying to get the Mythic or not, go after the half-priced dragon. It is the half-priced warrior legendary, this season at least. And what this will give you is it will give you not only a dragon or a line half off that is needed for the Mythic, because otherwise you'll have to spend 90,000 sigils. But in this case, you'd only have to spend, what, 75,000? Potentially, if you finish the half price completely in 2 weeks. By the way, it's only for 2 weeks, and then it cuts off, which is huge. 15k sigils, it might not sound like a whole lot, but trust me when I say that's like 3 events free to play. So 3 events is like, what? A fourth around a fourth of a season right there. So definitely, if you are free to play, whether it's this season or next season, save up bronze chests and gold chests from the season before and open up as many as you can and try to do as best as you can in those first events of the season. In this case, it will be breeding, which will be next event, and then the event after that more than likely will be feeding, which is very unfortunate, because people like myself, and pretty much all of you, which is one of my tips I'm going to go over in just a second, but really, if you want to go after the Mythic free-to-play, you want to open up bronze and golds during PvP during PvP events only, and I'll explain why in just a second. So, having the feeding and breeding in the start of the season is kind of unfortunate, because I don't necessarily want to open up all these, but I'm going to have to if I want to get the half priced, which I'm going for. So really push as hard as you can in those events. If you have to spend extra, materials than you might want, do it. Because not only this season are they doing the half price, but all of the prizes in these lines are going to be buffed a ton. So you're going to get more gold chests, you're going to get more egg tokens, you're going to get more resources, you're going to get more of everything from these lines this season. So do your best to be able to get as far as you can in that half price line. Now, the reasoning behind opening up bronze and gold chests in PvP events is this. A lot of people have the mindset that, okay, if I need egg tokens, for example, which a lot of free-to-play players do, or speed-ups, or whatever the case may be, whatever the consumable is that you need a whole lot of, a lot of times it's, for egg tokens or speed-ups. The automatic thing that we want to do is open up gold chests during what? Breeding events. Because that is when breeding events, more than likely they should be dropping egg tokens. That makes sense. PG, however, makes a whole lot of sense. So what they'll do is during minor events, they put in a lot of extra consumables like fire turret shards, ice turret shards, black pearls, which, don't get me wrong, guys, are nice for bases. Alright? A ton of people need black pearls. A ton of people need ice turrets shards, right? However, if you are going for a Mythic, sigils need to be one of your top priorities. So in order to do that, my biggest suggestion is save up your bronze chest and your gold chest for PvP event only. Because not only do you get a whole lot of, sigils, but you also get inner fires and energy packs. As you can see right here, 3 inner fires, which is quite a few for a free-to-play. And that's just 10 gold chests. Sorry, not 10 gold chests. That's 10 bronze chests. And a lot of times you'll get a lot of sigils as well. You get up to 3 pieces of sigils from each 10. So if I get 25 sigils every single time, I'm going to get, well over 4,000, right? I think. Something like that. Like 4,000 something. From, 2,700. Now, obviously, a lot of people won't have that much saved up. But trust me, it is worth it, because that will allow you to do better in PvP events, which will net you more sigils and more resources. And also, you get a ton of speed ups from bronze and gold chests, and egg tokens from bronze and gold chests during PvP events, because they're not loaded down with all this useless garbage that you don't need, or you don't want, or, maybe you do want, but it's not as high a priority as sigils, egg tokens, and speed ups are. So that's crucial. Save resources for these events. I see a lot of people asking me, dude, how do you do well in events as a free-to-play? And then they're, out spending egg tokens outside of breeding events. And I'm like, dude, do not spend egg tokens. Do not spend a whole lot of speed-ups outside of events. I don't care if it's for war. Don't get me wrong. War bases, for wars, bases are important. But do not waste resources outside of events if you're free-to-play and you're a lower level. And when I say lower level, I mean under 300. If you're under 300, yes, some bases are amazing, but in the end of the day, it is one war. It is, I know, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because I'm extremely war-oriented. However, it is one war. It is at most 400 egg tokens. So is it really worth those speed-ups for possibility of 400 egg tokens when one base doesn't really necessarily win a war unless you have, you're the level 500 in a platinum team? Not really. So don't waste speed ups on your base outside of the event. Also, kind of going with that, make sure you have the correct rider on your dragon perch. When I say correct rider, I mean the rider that has the most construction time decrease. For example, you'll see right here that this is minus 12% construction time, which is huge. It saves me a bunch of speed ups over 5 days per tower built, which is extremely helpful. It saves a bunch of my timers every single event. So, yeah, just side note, if you don't have an Atlas rider that decreases the time, the Atlas rider that you get for defense, which is called Guardian or Defender or something, it's a green one. If you don't know how to get to that, comment down below and I can explain it all in another video or something. Get this, get glory on it, and then level it up in order to get the 12% construction time. Because as a free-to-play, I would say that needs to be your first priority. It was for me, and it was definitely worth it. Definitely worth the investment. So yeah, save resources for events, period. I don't care what it is, save them. If you're a free-to-play player and you are trying to do, PvP events, single attacks. I know it is extremely grinding, right? It is tiring having to do single 4 energy attacks during PvP events. But if you want the biggest bang for your buck, which you should if you're trying to be smart, do that. That will net you more points than doing a bunch of mega attacks. Even though it might seem like it's, oh man, it's a ton of points. It doesn't give you as many points as doing 100 energy worth of 4 energy attacks. That's 25 attacks. And yeah, 25 attacks is a lot of freaking grinding. But it is worth it if you get a Mythic free-to-play. I know plenty of people who have gotten Mythics free-to-play. It's not that hard, to be quite honest, if you're on a Sapphire team, which is definitely a big help. Get on a team that does well in events, because the team prize. Also, quests. Quests do take time, but you know what? If your team does well enough, you get, a little bit of sigils, right? It doesn't hurt. 300 sigils every single event. If you have 12 events, that's over 3,000 sigils, which is definitely not too shabby. I think, it's 3,600 or something worth of sigils right there. So, not terrible, for sure. Also, you get some extra rubies and stuff like that, so not bad as well. So, besides that, Atlas, guys, make sure you are doing Atlas, period. Always building troops. Even if you have Atlas Elite or you don't, make sure you're always building troops every single day, and just get it leveled up. Get all your troop counts up. Do everything that you can to be active. And then once you start getting enough troops and you can start going glory hunting, that is when you can start getting badge chests from these events, which will give you a ton of prizes in the season. So far, I think I've maxed out this season, but, you get a ton of stuff from it. You get, the crafting scrolls and all that, but you also get speed ups. You also get, where are they? Egg tokens as well. So you get these free-to-play resources that are really necessary in order for you to continue to progress. And as you level up, it'll be easier to glory hunt, and you'll do better in events. It's just kind of a cycle. So really what it boils down to is activity. If you are barely online during the season and you're not doing well in events, you're not going to be able to get the Mythic free-to-play. But if you're active, if you're doing Atlas, if you're doing all the stuff you should, if you have any questions on quote-unquote what you should be doing, just message me in game. I'll try to do my best to respond. Had a slight family emergency the last couple of days, so haven't been as active as I would like to be. But yeah, I mean that's really the basics. There's more specific stuff, but I feel like that's not necessary to go over quite yet. If you guys have any other specific questions or anything like that, definitely hit me up. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, found it useful. If you did, leave a like down below. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, fellas.